Today I'm going to talk through the mathematics higher paper for year 11. It was a 1 hour paper and there are some tricky questions in here. Every question will be time stamped, so if you want to work out how to do so of question 12 or 13, you can skip straight ahead to that. Starting off then with the first question, this was to do with standard form. Write these numbers in standard form. Well, standard form is shown as a value between 1 and 10 multiplied by a power of 10. It's just an easier way to deal with large numbers. So 6500 is going to give me 6.5, and the power of 10, well, how many place values has it moved? It's moved 1, 2, 3, so it's to the power of 3. The next one, by the same convention, is 5.84, but this time the amount of place values it's moved is back 2, so therefore it's to the negative 2. The next question is just a calculator exercise. So what I would do is I would just type this into my calculator, being very careful. I would have a little check that I know my power is going to be whatever 5 take away 2 is, which is 3. It should be something similar to that. So therefore, typing this on your calculator, you end up with an answer of 7560. So therefore that's 7.56. Remember to use all the digits times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3. Because it's moved 3 place values. The next question, James is looking at examination papers in Spanish, and he's already done 2 papers and he's got these results. We want to know what he needs to do to get 60% of his total marks. So to do that, I need to first of all work out, well, how many is the total marks of? 80, 65 and 95, adding them together. Add 65 add 95, which is going to give me 240. So my aim is to work out what 60% of 240 is, and I could use that with my calculator by multiplying by 0.6. So 0.6 times 240 is 144. So therefore he needs 144 marks in total to get this 60%. He's already done 2 papers. He's got 43 and 38. So to work out what else he needs to get, let's just take them away. Taking away 43, taking away 38, that's going to give me 101, 63. So therefore he needs 63 marks on his final paper to get that 60% in total. Good luck, James. Question 3 is about a proportion question. 3 people take 2.5 hours to deliver to 270 houses. Assuming everyone delivers at the same rate, how long will it take 5 people to deliver the leaflet to 405 houses? Give your time in hours and minutes. It's important to note that. So 3 people take 2.5 hours to deliver a leaflet to 270 houses. So what I want to know first is how many leaflets does one person deliver in 1 hour? So therefore it's going to be 270 divided by 3 divided by 2.5. So 270 divided by 3 will tell me how many leaflets someone delivered in 2.5 hours, divided by 2.5 will tell me how many leaflets one person delivers in 1 hour. So using my calculator, 270 divided by 3 divided by 2.5 is equal to 36. So one person delivers at a rate of 36 papers per hour. So this is one person. I don't have one person, I have 5. So multiplying this by 5 is going to give me, well, 36 times 5 is 180. So 5 people is 180. And if there's 405 papers to be delivered, 405 divided by 180 will tell me how many hours that takes, which my calculator is saying 2.25. So therefore it's 2 full hours and a quarter of an hour. So it's 2 full hours and a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. It's important to note that if it says give your answer in hours and minutes, if you do a correct conversion from a decimal into a time of hours and minutes, you're going to get a mark regardless of whether that is the correct answer or not. Okay, the next question is to do with a survey, and there's 60 people in total, and they were asked whether they had a bank account and a part-time job. The results are given in a Venn diagram, and they're given in x's and 2x's, so we need to first of all work out what x is. To do that, I know there's 60 people in total, and looking in my Venn diagram, I know that's my complete information. So therefore, if I add everything together, so I've got x plus 2x plus x take away 1, and plus 5x take away 2, I know that this must sum to 60. Now it's just collecting my like terms. I get x, 2x and x, add 5x, which is 9x. Take away 3 is going to give me 60, so therefore my value of x is going to be 7, because I'm adding 3 and dividing by 9. Nice little thing to do now. Instead of working with algebra inside, let's work with numbers. Well, x is 7, so 2x must be 14. 7 take away 1 is 6. 5x take away 2 is 33. And what I'm going to do now is just check, see if my value of x is right by adding these numbers together, and it should equal 60. Well, 7 add 14 is 21, add 6 is 27, add 33 is 60. So I'm happy now, I know I've got that bit right. Find the probability that they have a bank account. Well, a bank account is going to be everything inside this then here, this circle, and there's a 14 and a 6, so therefore my probability of having a bank account is equal to 14 plus 6 divided by how many people in total, which is 60, so therefore my answer is 20 out of 60. Now there's no real reason to try and simplify this to a third. You can if you want to, but at the moment you don't have to because it's just given as a strict probability. Question 5, it says a cuboid measures 6 by 8 by 15 and it has the same volume as a cube. I want to find the surface area of a cube. Well, let's think about this. I've got a cube and I want to know what its side length is first, because that's how I can work out the surface area, by doing x times x and then multiplying through by 6 to get every side. A cuboid measures 6 by 8 by 15, and if they have the same volume, that means x cubed is going to be equal to 6 times 8 times 15, because x cubed is the value of the cuboid, the volume of it, and the volume of the cube. So therefore this is going to give me a value of x cubed is equal to 720. So therefore my value of x is going to be equal to the cube root of 720. Just put that in my calculator. I don't think it's going to give me a nice number. No, it's not. It's going to give me 8.96 something. So I'm going to leave it as the cube root of 720, but just make a little note that it is 8.96 something. I'm going to keep it as a cube root of 720 because I'm not finished with this value. This isn't an answer yet. It's not ready to be rounded. So I don't want to make a rounding error halfway through and then get penalised later on. So if that's x, to work out the area of a cube, I first of all need to work out one of the faces. So I'm going to work out this side here by doing x squared. So I'll square my value. And then I need 6 of them, so I'm going to multiply it by 6. So therefore I'm going to look at x squared, and I want to multiply it by 6, so I'm going to look at 6x squared. Working that out on my calculator will give me 481.991721. And now this is a point where I can read the question and see what it wants it as. Find the surface area of a cube, 3 significant figures. So that's what it wants it as, so therefore that's what I'm going to do. 481, round up by the 9, my area is 482 for my surface area. A bit of a tricky question, but thinking about drawing the shape is really going to help us out. Question 6, this graph shows a straight line. Show that the gradient of a line is 2.5. Okay, so first thing I need to do to show a gradient, I need to work out the rise, work out the run, and to do that. So I'm going to use my straight line. I'm going to find some nice integer points. Well, I've got a point here, 2, 4. And that's going to go nicely with my point here of -2, -6. They're both points on the line, and they're nice, clean values. So this is 2, 4. This is -2, 6. And I'm going to work out the rise divided by the run. So my gradient is equal to my difference in my y values, which is from 4 to -6. So it's a difference of 10. And the difference in my x values. Well, my difference in my x values is -2 to 2, so that is 4, which is equal to 2.5 as required. The next question says write down the equation of the line. Well, looking at this, the equation of the line is y equals mx plus c, so I just need to know where the intercept is, and it goes through at the value of -1, almost said 1 for a second. So therefore my equation of the line, if it's y equals mx plus c, I know that C is equal to -1, and M I worked out in the previous question, or it was given to me, is 2.5. So therefore, y equals 2.5x, take away 1. Question 7, Lily buys and sells microwaves. This is a very important question to make sure that your workings out is nice and neat so you can pick up all the marks. So the expected number of faulty microwaves is what I need to work out first. And looking at this, last month, 6 out of the 80 microwaves were faulty, and she's now ordered 133. So if 6 out of 80 is faulty, and she's now ordered 133, I need to multiply this proportion by 133, and that's going to give me an answer of 9.975. So therefore, I can assume that 10 are going to be faulty. Okay, expected costs. Well, how much does it cost in all for one which isn't faulty? Well, it's £32 and a further £7 for delivery. So 32 add 7 is 39. Okay, so it's £39. She buys 133. So therefore 39 times 133 is going to give me 5187. So that's how much she spends on just the microwaves and delivering them. She also needs to spend for the 10 faulty ones, which are £10 each. So 10 multiplied by 25 is 250. So finding the sum of these is going to be 5. So 5437. So therefore the total she spends is 5437. Her sales, assuming she sells everyone, well, she sells them for £60 each. 133 times 60 is 7980. So if she sells everything, it's going to be £7,980, and it cost her £5,437 to buy them. So expected profit, well, it's the difference between what she sells them for and what she buys them for, divided by, well, it's however much she bought them for, times by 100. So 7980, take away 5437, divided by 5437, and that gives me, when I multiply by 100, 46.77. So 46.77%. And that would be my answer. So I've clearly laid out my workings out, how much for expected faulty, cost, income, and then the percentage profit. Moving on, the graph shows the number of umbrellas sold in Ling's shop for each quarter from quarter 1 to quarter 3 of 2019. The shop sold 32 umbrellas in quarter 4 of 2019. Complete the graph. So this is the first part. In quarter 4, sold 32. So therefore, I'm just going to carry on my line to that 32 value. Make one comment about the seasonal variation of this graph. Well, you could mark multiple things, but the main thing to notice is that quarter 3 is the lowest, is always the lowest, and that would be in winter, or summer, sorry, and quarter 1 is always the highest, which is in summer. So you'd say something about a specific actual quarter. Make one comment about the annual variation. Well, what's happening in general over the years? Well, in 2017, it looks like the values are all a bit lower than in 2018, which are all a bit lower than 2019. So as it goes on, you're looking at a higher increase of umbrellas sold per year. So more umbrellas sold per year as it goes on. So 2017 and 2018 and 2019. So in 2020, we're going to assume more. So looking down, Ling predicts that she will sell 50 umbrellas in quarter 1 of 2020. What assumption has she made? Well, she's assumed that this trend is going to continue. She's assumed that the trend from 2017 to 18 and 18 to 19 is going to continue on to 19 to 20, so that the trend will continue. And I'm going to call it a positive trend, will continue. Okay. Question 9. This diagram shows Jane's lawn. It's in the shape of a square, with 3 semicircles either side, and she's going to spread fertiliser on the lawn at a rate of 30 grams per square metre, but it's only sold in 10 kilogram bags. So, first thing to do, calculate the cost of buying all the bags for fertiliser, and I must show my workings out. Well, I'm going to first of all write that I have two shapes here. I've got a shape A, and I've got a shape B, which is repeated 3 times. So I'm going to work out the area of shape A, work out the area of shape B, and find the total area of the lawn. So for shape A, well, it's 36, and it's just a square, so it's going to be 36 squared. So working that out, 36 squared, it's going to give me 1296 metres squared, and that's for shape A. For shape B, it's a circle, but it's a semicircle, so the area is going to be pi r squared divided by 2. Well, if the diameter is 36, the radius is 18, so it's pi times 18 squared, which is going to give me 324 pi, but then I need to divide it by 2 because it's a semicircle, which is going to give me 162 pi. So therefore, the total area is going to be equal to, well, A, and I actually have 3 lots of B, so I'm going to add on 3B. So 1296, add, and it's going to be 162 pi times 3. Which is 2822.81403. And that is my total area of the lawn. She is going to spread fertiliser on the lawn at a rate of 30 grams per square metre. So therefore I need to take this value, and to work out how much fertiliser she's going to use, I am going to multiply it by 30. This will tell me how many grams of fertiliser she will use. So taking this value and multiplying by 30, well, it is 2822 multiplied by 30, and that's going to give me 84684. 84684.42089. And that is how many grams I need, which is going to be 84 kilograms of fertiliser. If they're only sold in 10 kilogram bags, I would need 9 bags in total, and each bag costs £15.80. So the 9 times the £15.80 is going to tell me how much I need to spend. This gives me a total of £142.20. So therefore, to fertilise the whole lawn, £142.20. Again, clearly laid out my workings, area first, working how much seed I need, then to how many bags, and looking at a total price. Okay, now we're going to get into some questions which are a little bit trickier. So the first one, the length of Jamal's car is 4.72, and it says corrected 2 decimal places. So therefore what I'm going to do is just draw my little number line. I've got 4.72 in the middle, so I'm going to put in what my values afterwards would be. And if it's corrected 2 decimal places, this is 4.72, this must be 4.73, and this must be 4.71. The rounding values are going to be halfway. So it's going to be 4.715, that would be this value, and 4.725 to indicate the halfway point of the next one. Jamal travels 430 kilometres, correct to the nearest 10 kilometres, and his average speed is 57.3 kilometres, correct to 1 decimal place. Calculate the shortest possible time for Jamal's journey. Well, it's speed equals distance over time. That's the first thing that I need to write down. And I want to know the shortest time, so therefore I can multiply by time and divide by speed. So time is going to be equal to speed, distance over speed. So if I want the shortest possible time, that means I want the lowest distance and the fastest speed. So therefore I want this to be as low as possible and this to be as high as possible. Well, the distance is 430 kilometres. That can go as low as 425 kilometres if we repeated the same process above. The speed is 57.3, and that can go to 57.35, again if we took the upper bound. Now, all that's left to do is work out the shortest possible time for his journey by dividing these two values of 425 over 57.35 and working out what that is. So 425 divided by 57.35, that gives me an answer of 7.4106 and so on. Well, the hours is nice and easy. The hours is just 7. So what I'm going to do is take away 7 from my answer. And now I've got this 0.41. Well, that's 0.41 of an hour. So I have to multiply it by 60 to tell me how many minutes, which is going to be 24.6. Correct the nearest minute is going to give me 25, because it would be 7 hours and 24.63. So that's going to round up. Okay? Question 11. A triangle is drawn on a coordinate grid. Translate the triangle by vector negative 6, 2. So negative 6, 2, well, the top value is the x, so it's horizontal. So it's going to go back 6. So this point is going to go to negative 4. And then 2 on the bottom is a y, so it's going to go up. So these points are going to correlate. 5 is going to go to here. And this one again, 2 up. So I would redraw my shape T on this section. So negative 6, taking it back 6. Positive 2 is going to jump it up 2. Any more? Nope. Question 12. Ali and Beth take it in turns to play a computer game. On each turn, the player achieves a score out of 50. They record their scores. Ali's is here. So, in order to do a box plot, before I do anything, I'm going to make sure I write down every single thing that I need. Well, I need my lowest value, my lowest quartile, my median, and then I need my upper quartile and my upper value. Just going to go through the list that Ali's told me. Well, the median is 31, so I can just type that here. Highest score is 38. The range is 23, so I'm going to use the range with my upper value to get to my lower value. So this is going to be 38, take away 23, which is 15. So I've worked out these so far. My lower quartile is 24, and my upper quartile, it doesn't say, but I know my interquartile range is 11. So to get from my lower to my upper, I add 11. 24 add 11 is 35. I've got all my key values. Let's draw my box plot. Lower value, 15. Draw a line down. Lower quartile, 24. Draw a line down. Let me just quickly get it. The next one, median, 31. Draw a line down. Upper quartile, 35. Draw a line down. And upper value, 38. Draw a line down. Box and whisker means that I need a box over my middle 3, like this, and a whisker going to the edge. And that would be my box and whisker plot for Ali's scores. This box shows the distribution of best scores. Find the interquartile range. Well, the interquartile range is the upper and the lower, the difference between them. It's also the size of a box. So here I've got a value of 21. Here is a value of 37. 37, take away 21 is equal to 16. Kareem says Beth was more consistent than Ali because Beth had a lower median score. We should know this is incorrect because consistency is typically based off the interquartile range. So what we're looking at for a consistent set of scores is a really small interquartile range. So therefore we'd need to state something like, well, Ali's is 11 and Beth's is 16. We would state that this is incorrect. No, because the statement is not correct. Beth has a higher interquartile range of 16 than Ali. And Ali's was only 11, I believe. And this is clearly indicating that it is not more consistent because Beth has a higher interquartile range, and the interquartile range is an indicator of consistency. Question 12. Here is a piece of work. Describe the error made and give the complete correct solution. So solve by factorisation. Well, looking at this then, positive 5 and negative 1, I'm just going to check this by expanding out. Positive 5 times x is 5x. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. 5x take away 3x is equal to positive 2x. And yet what I need to solve is negative 2x. So my error is in this first step of factorising, they've changed the values of positive 5 and negative 1. They need to be the inverse. It would need to be negative 5 and positive 1. So I'm going to say that it expands to 3x squared plus 2x, take away 5 equals 0. Therefore, coefficient of x is inverted, because it should be negative 2x, but they've given me positive 2x. So therefore my correct solution, well, like I've just said in my error, this plus 5 should be a negative 5, and this negative 1 should be a positive 1, so I don't need to go through all of this process of factorising it again. I can just write down that 3x take away 5, and x plus 1 is going to be equal to 0. So therefore my values of x are going to be equal to negative 1, and then I'll need to actually solve this. So 3x take away 5 equals 0, so 3x is equal to 5, and x is equal to 5 over 3, and this time it's positive, so it's all x is equal to 5 over 3. And here we would have a 3-mark solution to this question, and all it's really knowing is, can we check if the factorised form is correct by just doing a little expansion, and then can we actually change it so that it is correct now. Question 14, y is inversely proportional. I'm just going to quickly highlight the fact that it says inversely proportional to the square of x. When y is 2, x is 5. Third thing we should be thinking about is alarm bells. Y is inversely proportional, so therefore it's going to be y is equal to k over something, and it's the square of x, so it's x squared. This should be your first step, or depending on what class you're in, you could have made your first step of this and then going to this first step. Y is equal to 2 when x is equal to 5, so I'll say when y equals 2, x equals 5, substituting in 2 is equal to k over 5 squared. Multiplying across, 2 times 5 squared is equal to 50, so 50 is equal to k, and if I want to link these together, all I'm going to do is just swap this value of 50 with this k, so therefore I get a value of y is equal to 50 over x squared, and that would be a perfectly valid formula for this question. Question 15, expand and simplify, x plus 1, x minus 1, and x plus 2. Something lovely happens when you expand x plus 1, x minus 1. We should notice there a difference of 2 squares, but if not, I'm going to expand it out properly for you using the grid method. We end up with x plus 1, x subtract 1, and multiplying through, I get an x squared, an x, a negative x, and a negative 1. What we should notice is that these terms here, negative x and x, are going to actually cancel each other out. So therefore x plus 1 and x minus 1 expand to x squared, take away 1. Now I need to multiply that by x plus 2. Well, I get x squared, take away 1. And I also have x plus 2. And expanding this out, we need to be careful when we're trying to collect like terms. This is a mistake that I've seen a lot with these types of questions, because we can't always just do this diagonal trick, because this is going to be an x cubed term. Let me just quickly write it in. This is going to be a negative x term. This is going to be a 2x squared term, and this is a negative 2. So simplifying it, x cubed, 2x squared, so it's plus 2x squared, it's positive. Take away x, notice that there's no cancelling or simplifying, and negative 2. And that would be 3 marks. The final question on the paper was a circle of x squared plus y squared equals 34, and then an equation of a straight line, which is y is equal to x plus 2. What we should be thinking for this question is it's going to be very tricky to try and eliminate something, so therefore what we're going to do is substitution. I know that my value of y is going to be equal to x plus 2 in both scenarios, so therefore I can swap this value of y at the top with this value of x plus 2, and that should help me just work out some values for x. So I'm going to get x squared plus, well, my value of y is now x plus 2 squared equals 34. Looking at this then, going to expand x squared plus, well, x plus 2 squared is going to give me x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 34. And to actually try and solve this, I need it equal to 0, so I'm going to take away 34 and simplify. 2x squared plus 4x, take away 30 is equal to 0. The next step isn't crucial, but if we notice that everything is a multiple of 2, we can just divide through by 2, and that gives us x squared plus 2x, take away 15, which is something which is a lot easier to work with. And now simplifying, I need my factors of 15, which are 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Because it's negative, I know that one of my brackets is going to be negative, equals 0. And it would have to be 3 and 5, with 5 being positive and negative 3. So therefore, from here, I get x is equal to positive 3, or x is equal to negative 5. This is great, they're my answers so far, but I need to work out my values of y. Well, y is equal to x plus 2, so when x is equal to 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, or y is equal to, well, negative 5 plus 2 is going to give me negative 3. So, looking at my answers, writing them in and making sure that I write them in correctly next to each other, so it's 3 and negative 5, and then I also have exactly what I didn't want to do. Let me just quickly go back. It's 3 and positive 5, and then negative 5 and negative 3. So, thank you for watching this video. This is me going through the full paper, and if you have any questions or queries, or if I've made any mistakes, please email me to let me know, and I'll see you in the next video for paper 2. Best of luck.